Hey everybody, hi. How's it going? It's Quilt Nerd time, and it's Saturday night, and I'm here at the Iowa Quilt Museum. Things are, I don't know, I've got a new sort of corner to do the show in. I don't know. Steph, how is the, well, let me know, okay, if anything's weird with the stream, because we had a little like internet connectivity thing that I was worried about, but it might be just fine. Might smooth itself out. But yeah, if we have a little trouble, I don't think it'll be too much of a thing to come right back. So we'll see. It's great to see everybody, and I am sorry that I wasn't here on Tuesday, but I left for Iowa early, and Mom and I are filming this workshop for Quilt Folk, and there's so much to do. And the announcement about the workshop and the ability to get tickets or to get to purchase the workshop will be available on Mother's Day. So that's when the Quilt Folk email is going to go out. So if you're not on the Quilt Folk email list, you should go to quiltfolk.com and sign up for the newsletter or the email list, and then you'll get announcements about it soon. I don't know. I'm not sure. I could text Mike right now and ask him, but I think maybe subscribers to Quilt Folk will get the first email about it. But I do know that on Mother's Day there's going to be a big announcement about how the workshop's it's gonna happen. So it'll take place in July. I don't know what day it will be, but it's three episodes, and I shouldn't say too much more about it, because Quilt Folk people, if you're a subscriber, you really should, just like with Quilt Nerd, you should get perks, you should get private streams, and you should get early announcements and stuff like that. So I won't say too much at the moment, but I can tell you that Mom and I are working here at the Iowa Quilt Museum on the second floor of the museum, and I was supposed to come here on Monday and have a week to work more with Mom on everything, but I sort of looked at myself on Monday or Tuesday, I guess it was Tuesday last week, and I said, Self, you need to get to Iowa right now. Like, you need to go there right now, and like, there's so much to do. So I talked to Mom, and I changed my flight. Oh no, it was Monday. God, I don't remember. But anyway, I got on basically the next flight and came home, and it was definitely the right decision. And I had to pack, and I had to do all kinds of things. So it was just one of those nights where it was like, I need to not stream live for a couple hours tonight. I need to get my ish together, as it were. Okay, Stephanie Cake, how are you doing? I just unplugged my thing, but that's okay. How are you doing? I feel like it's been a really long time since I saw you. Does that,
Yeah,
feels weird.
It's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week. Hang on. How was your week? What's new? And
it was a good week. It went by so fast,
Yeah.
I got back into a little bit of Dutton.
Good.
So, if we get to the Dutton report tonight, I have some juicy new intel.
Excellent.
But yeah, the week went by fast, and it's good to hear that you and your mom got lots of work done, and I'm so excited for the announcement.
It'll be good. It'll be good. We got pictures taken and everything, and I'm not going to show them yet, but they look great, and I think it's going to be really cool. And Mom and I are today we sewed. Today we really, all we did was sew. I mean, I even, sorry, Steph. I even turned on my headphones, while Mom was sewing, I was sewing and listening to a live stream actually. And that was how intense the sewing time was, because we've got a lot of sewing to do. So it was a good time. Hey everybody, hey Eva and Kitty and Randall, hello. Listen, Randall's around. You know how hard we're working. Randall, hey Dee Marie. Randall was seeing me do some big stitch quilting the other day, and she was up here and she said, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. And she's like, because she taught knitting for a long time, or she taught knitting for enough time to see enough students where, and so she was like, drop your shoulders. And then later I got a text from Randall that was one word: shoulders. She knew I was going to be working on the thing. And you were right. Very, very nice.
It's so easy to get in the groove and forget.
Yes. I mean, I was really like, so that was good. Thank you, Randall. Thank you very much. And so it's great to see everybody, and Kay and Eva. And Joyous Fibers, it's great to see you too. Myra, Dee Dee, hello. Joyce, it's great to see you. Flintster, Saucy, hi. So tonight, I've got so much good stuff for you tonight, like really good stuff. Whenever there's a night where I don't have a show, I get really excited about the next show because, I like to hang out with you, and I like to hang out with Steph, and I just kind of, it's kind of my gang. Like, you're kind of my gang. Kind of my gang. And so tonight I've got a few very special things that you can only see here on Quilt Nerd, and some intel. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I've got the intro quilt first. But I need to run and get the magazine that I got this quilt from because I didn't bring it over. It's sitting over there. Okay, Stephanie, can you entertain the people while I get small and
Sure.
do the thing? Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta grab the thing.
I'm going to step away from quilts for a minute because I noticed Myra mentioned the coronation. Did anybody else watch coronation footage? I have to be honest, I used to really be kind of, not enamored, but sort of interested in what the royals were up to, but I feel like I've sort of lost my interest in them a bit. And this is terrible because, I always feel bad when people get made fun of, but King Charles Sausage Fingers has kind of captivated my attention. So if you guys haven't heard about this, just Google Coronation Sausage Fingers and you'll find some very interesting sandwiches.
Coronation Sausage Fingers? Is it sausage and bread?
It is a sandwich type of display.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
A sandwich type of display? It's a okay, I'm in. Thank you for I was like, can you hold down the fort? And I come back and it's like sausage finger display. This is why. We're in good hands. We're in good sausage fingers. Okay, yeah, it's a coronation day, and yeah, it's an exciting thing. Also, this is what I got today. This is how you fuel. Look at this. This is how you fuel major sewing, right? Together with somebody else. It's like you gotta have the big peanut M&Ms. So I brought them over. I mean, I've never eaten M&Ms on this show. Maybe tonight's the night. Probably is. Okay, so let me go down here. Hey, Jill. And who else did I see over there? I've seen a few different people. Okay, so I'm here at the Iowa Quilt Museum, and downstairs near one of the displays, they have a bunch of magazines that are free to take, old dusty magazines, the kinds that we like best. And so I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to do for the show. A couple days ago, I was coming upstairs and I saw that display and I was like, that's what I want to do, is to go and see what magazines they have and then see what I'm inspired by. And so I pulled out a few different ones. Some of the Quilters newsletters we've actually looked at before, but they've got more than Quilters newsletter there. They've got a couple things. They've got American Quilter, which is the AQS magazine. Okay, so they have some old American quilters. Hey, Angie. Hey, Salad. Hi. Slim Quilt Pants is here. That's great. It's great to see you. Slim. So American Quilter, this is from fall 1998. So I didn't scan the whole thing by any means. This is not that show. But I went through this magazine and pulled out something very interesting, which is the intro quilt that you see behind you. But then I also for tonight, there is this old-fashioned patchwork. Oh, I have the cover scanned, but for now I can tell you, old-fashioned patchwork from 1987. Huh? What treasures will it hold? So we're going to look at a couple things from that. We're going to look at the intro quilt first, but then there's another surprise, and then the surprise is the first thing that we're going to see. So it's action-packed. Okay. So this quilt, very very timely. There was an article in this 1998 issue of American Quilter called "The Second Time Around: Turning Vintage Blocks and Linens into Quilts." So I was like, hey, Mom, check this out. And so I read it to Mom, and I can show you first. Let me show you. Yeah, let me see. Okay, I've got the full page scan, but this quilt was in there, and so these blocks. Well, I'm pretty big for being small. Let me make myself a little smaller. These blocks that you're seeing were the vintage blocks, and this person who wrote this article, and her name is Sandra Townsend Donabed, Donabed, Sandra Townsend Donabed. She added, what you see here, and I really like this quilt. So this is 1998. This is called Changes in Latitude. It's 84 by 84. It was made in 1996. Okay, 1986. And she says this quilt was the result of a huge pile of matching blocks received from an internet friend. Back in 1998, internet was capitalized. Interesting. Only the blocks that were predominantly green and red were used. To unify the different colors, I bordered each block with the narrow red and white strip. This in turn was bordered by a 2-inch strip of designer print with a black and white pin dot background and red and green floral design. The sashing is a 1-inch wide teal green overall texture pattern, a green similar to the one in the quilt. The sashing, right? So I mean, I really think that this quilt is very successful. I mean, it's not for everybody, but it seems, I don't know, it seems like really, I don't know, you remember the Japanese quilt maker who does the food? Aiko Okano is her name. This seems very Aiko Okano to me, like really busy, you remember, right, Steph? I saw you and it's like, it looks like it could be, I don't know, noodles, or this quilt could be called, noodle party or something. I mean, it's just really lively, it's really lively, and I think she used prints really well, and there's a lot going on in those blocks, lots of different colors, lots of different patterns. I mean, this is like, whoa. Like, what do you do when you find a block that looks like that? And it's the same. I mean, you can see there's like a 4 patch in the middle. I think you can see, right? It seems to me, I could be wrong. 4 patch in the middle, and then this like crackerjack unit. If you're looking long ways, it's not like there's a flying goose on the top. I don't know that that's a construction at all. Okay, it looks like there's a quarter square triangle here, and then a strip set, like the 3x3 kind of thing, so it's just, that's really a lot. There's a lot going on, and I really like it. But to have the vision, or to have the design sense to do what she did with it, to me I thought it was really cool, really, really cool. I like it a lot. Okay, let's see. Hold on, I've got this. Okay. Okay. Where was I? Okay. So that's our intro quilt. So once again, it was from American Quilter, fall 1998. And what's on the cover of this, by the way? American Quilter. It's Sue Nichols and Pat Hawley. Is that right? Pat Nichols. No. Pat Nichols and Sue Hawley made the Beatles quilt. The Beatles quilt. They won a big prize at maybe Paducah, maybe Best in Show in Paducah for their Beatles quilt. I guess I could have scanned it. We featured it in Quilt Folk when we did the Michigan issue. I don't know, the green screen might not like this, but we'll try it anyway. This is a pretty famous quilt. I'll scan it. I'll get it in there. But if you just Google the Beatles quilt, Sue Nichols and Pat Hawley, yeah, you'll see it. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into this. Let's get into it. What is this beautiful thing? Okay. So, hang on. What are you doing? Okay. So I took this picture of some material that I have here in the space, and this is a pretty special piece of patchwork. There's the woman who made this, her name, she's passed away, and her name was Liz Axford. Elizabeth Jean and she was known as Liz Axford. She passed away in 2019, in July of 2019. And I'm going to read her obituary as I share these pictures with you. The reason that I have this material, and I have it, you know, like I have it here. The reason that I have it is because Carolyn Ducey at the Quilt Museum at Lincoln, when Mike and I were at the AQSG seminar in September in San Diego, we told her about the Foundry project, and we were like, we're gonna take vintage tops and vintage loose blocks and turn them into quilts, and you know, and give them a home, you know. And she said, you know, we have some things, right? Like, let's talk about what we get at the museum. Let's talk about some of the stuff that we have. And Carolyn Ducey is a friend. I really love her, and she does such a great job at the museum. And so it was exciting to maybe collaborate with her on this. And she said, you know, one of the things that we have is that we have a good deal of loose patchwork from Liz Axford. And Liz Axford was a quilt artist. In fact, hang on, let me grab one thing that I didn't get before, which is silly. I'm going to go to this, and they have several of her pieces, and actually, Cake, I'm going to give you this in the Slack. And this is the search I just did at the Quilt Museum for Liz Axford's pieces that they have. And I'm going to pull it up on the screen as well. But she hand dyed all of her own material, and hang on, let me just open this up. And so she had a lot of material and quilts left over that were in process when she passed away. This piece is called Shift 4. Shift 4. And it is Liz Axford 72 by 68, made in 2017, so just 2 years before her passing. I love this. When I saw this quilt, I saw it in person, I think, or one of her pieces. They have several of hers. It just sort of glowed from within, you know, really, really beautiful. So when she passed away, her widow said, you know, I have a lot of material that she hadn't finished. Hey, Marcia. And, you know, he offered it to the museum. And so they had a bunch of pieces and parts. And so Carolyn said, you know, let's talk to Liz's widower and see if, you know, he'd be willing to pass it along to Quilt Folk so that you all could use it in some capacity. So I wrote to him, and he was delightful, and he said Liz would be thrilled to know that somebody was going to finish projects of hers, and yes, please, you know. So I got a big box of her work, and it's here now in the space. And I mean, it's really, really gorgeous, right? Yeah, I miss Molly too. I talked to Molly though. She's on the AQSG Slack, so she's around. But yeah, she's good. She's good. So anyway, so it's really, really beautiful. So this is pieced. All of the stuff that you're seeing here is pieced, which is pretty incredible, and hand dyed. So I thought I would take a few pictures of this work and show you what we have. Yeah, this is this close up. I mean, it's really cool. And there are two really large pieces, right, M. Sujan? It's beautiful. Yeah, it is a gift, Myra, absolutely. There are two large pieces, as in like tops, and they're numbered. The different chunks are numbered. So she was really like working on these to put them together. And of course, we're going to put them together unaltered, you know, not do anything. It's clear what her intention was. And so we're going to see those through, you know. But this is a scan. I put this on the scanner. Her piecing was so cool. Like, it was just really, I don't know. It reminds me a little bit of Anna Williams. Like, there's pieces that remind me of Anna Williams. You could say intuitive piecing, some intuitive piecing she was doing. You know, I mean, they kind of vibrate, these pieces. Oh yeah, look at these. There are a ton of these strips. In fact, I'm going to turn this to the side. Rotate canvas. Yeah. There are a bunch. Did I do another one? No. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, I did. Hold on. Nope. I'm cheating. Okay. Let me turn this though, because there's all of these little strips, of all different colors. There's a lot of them. They're my sneakers. I left the sneakers in. I thought it was kind of funny. I'm just standing over this on the wood floor here. But these are raw edge applique. In hand dye. Is that right? Raw edge applique? Is that right, Steph? Am I looking at it right? I think so. I could go grab it. But there's other stuff that she's done that's reverse applique, but then stitched over the top. But I think this is raw.
Well, so are those cut edges, or are they turned under? They look pretty sharp.
Let me grab one. Hang on, I'll grab one.
Those are so much smaller than I expected. Because you held up the striped piece, and then to see those in relation to your shoes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They're so tiny.
Okay. Here. So you can see me on the monitor, like. Mm-hmm. So these are small. So let me put it up to the camera. Like that. Right? Here, and I'll show you this one, Steph, up here. It's stitched on.
I feel like it looks like it's turned under though.
I don't think it is.
Are the edges turned under?
No, I don't think
nice
so.
And crisp,
I know.
man.
They're so nice and crisp. It's like scary. Well, and her stitching is so close. I mean, it's like perfect, like quote unquote perfect. And I mean, there's a bunch of these in all these different colors, and it's so beautiful. And hey, Calamity Cortez. And yeah, I was running. I was like literally running. And so anyway, so there's these wonderful things. Randall, you've seen a lot of this because you were over, and it's just great. So a couple other of these. I mean, this is. I don't know where else you'd see this stuff, and we'll see the. We know Quilt Folk's going to do some stuff with this. I'm not sure what yet. The finishing school workshop about finishing these blocks and tops that Mom and I are doing is, I don't think it'll be a one-off. That's all I can say now. But we don't have the room in the series yet to work with these. But I think that there'll be an opportunity to do that. There are pieces that are contained like this, and I think this is probably like. Let me think. Like 3 by 3 feet? Is that about right? Yeah, like wall hanging, like definitely a wall hanging size. There are some pieces that are just black and white, just black and white fabric, hand dyed and things. And then she's done some stitching things. It's exciting to see what she was working on, and also really bittersweet, right? Because she didn't get to finish these projects. There's that one, and then this one. Yeah, this one seems very Anna Williams to me, or Nancy Crow, or there's lots of people who do this kind of thing, but it's just really, really, really beautiful. And I mean, you could find pieces and parts that are similar to this and put them together. I mean, that's the fun of like finding or coming across blocks that are loose. But the thing is with Liz Axford is I feel like a lot of these, they do seem done, like as tops. I don't know. It's interesting. So there's that one, and then there's one other one, I believe. I mean, do you all piece this small? Have you done a quilt like this? Have you done patchwork that's really tiny like this? I feel like there's MQG people who do stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, I've pieced smallish things. Mm-hmm. Like I do kind of like to work small, but not micro. Like micro is frustrating sometimes. But yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of improvisational type stuff because I mean, to me, this looks improvisational. Like get a plan, but it also is kind of, a little bit of intuitiveness, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, that's how I read it, but.
Yeah. Like she had a really big she had all these, all these colors of stuff in boxes, right? And just kind of grabbed what she wanted. I mean, look, all the different fabrics in that one row is pretty crazy. So yeah. Okay, yeah, and then this is the piece. One of the.
Did you say that she did a lot of hand dyeing? Is that?
It's all hand dyed, all of it. I mean, as far as I can tell, it's all hand dyed by her. So it's pretty great, pretty cool. So that's Liz Axford. Oh yeah, and I want to read just a little bit about her from her obituary in 2019, just a little bit so you know about her. Elizabeth Jean Axford, beloved wife of Patrick Arthur Johnson, born in 1953 in Canada, passed away after a year-long struggle with brain cancer. Her artistic inclinations led her to pursue architecture for 15 years, but she found her true passion for creating textile art, especially art quilts. Her last and foremost exhibition, Overlay, a solo show at the International Quilt Museum at the University of Nebraska, began May 17th of 2019. So she passed away during her show. Yeah, during that last show. It went through September. In explaining her turn from architecture to quilting, Liz was fond of saying that life is what happens when you're planning other things. She grew up in Canada. She did study art. She went to Rice University, where she earned a BA in architecture. And she says, while a student at Rice, she met Pat. She later told friends that from their first date, she knew it was love. They were married in Texas, and she settled in Houston. And that same year, while purchasing quilting books for her mother, Liz discovered contemporary art quilts and the contingent of mainly women educated in art and design who made them. She was intrigued and dabbled in quilts while studying for her architecture registration exam. Quilt making percolated in her psyche for 6 years while she practiced commercial architecture. In 1986, she left that grind and began a lifelong pursuit of quilt making as an art form. Textiles satisfied her design instincts and love of process in a way practicing architecture never did. As she immersed herself into a studio practice that steadfastly remained experimental, quilt making became her personal passion and professional focus. Dyeing her own fabrics was an integral part of her artwork. She loved creating with color. From 1993 to 1998, Liz and her longtime friend Connie Scheel were partners in Fabrics to Die For, producing custom-dyed fabrics for themselves and other quilt makers. During her 32-year art career, her works have been exhibited in Europe, Asia, and throughout the United States. Her textiles have been juried into more than 30 exhibitions and featured in more than 25 publications. Among her numerous awards and honors, she received the Quilt Japan Prize, from Quilt Visions in 1997. Oh, damn, that's a big deal. Woohoo, that's very cool. And the Award of Excellence from Quilt National in 2017. Oh, man. Most recently, she won the Excellence in Fibers 2019 award for wall and floor works. Judge, speaker, curator, educator, San Diego workshops, Houston, Gatlinburg, Tokyo. She taught in Tokyo and Osaka. And after Pat retired in 2012, he and Liz relocated to Whidbey Island. So that's Washington State, right? Washington State? Yeah, okay. Washington State. And so that's where she passed away, I believe. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, what a cool life. And her husband and they loved each other very much. They were together for a very long time, and she made art. And yeah, talking to Patrick was really cool. He was really excited to connect. So yeah, right on, man. Pretty great. Okay, so let's take a look at this magazine real quick. And actually, let's see, it's 8:43. You know what, cake? Let's do the cake break a little bit early, because I gotta run and do something really quick. And if you are ready to do Denton Report, I would love it. Yeah? Okay, so then I'll be right back, and then we will do this. We're gonna talk about denim. And let me just say, if you want to make it in denim, I can help you. With that. Well, I can't help you, but she can. Okay. All right. Okay, Cake, take it away. I will be right back.
Yeah, that Make It in Denim book. I cannot wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
So you guys, I haven't had a chance to Dunton much lately because I was sick and then I was busy. And so I jumped back into a little Dunton research Friday this morning. And I thought that I would jump into some history on his father, Jacob Dunton, because I had read that I knew that he was a pharmacist. And I had also read that he was an inventor. And I thought, oh, well, obviously somebody who's an inventor would have possibly patented some things. And oh boy, I was correct. My first search through the patent office was not successful because I guess the current patent search, like if you just go to the patent office now and to do a search, I think it cuts off about 1899. That was the oldest thing I found. And so everything Jacob Dunton had patented was before that. He was actively inventing things around the Civil War, which is interesting for a couple of reasons. So he was a pharmacist, so he patented some things that were related to medical stuff. So he patented a really weird-looking tourniquet, which looks scary, but alas, you know, the Civil War and people were losing limbs, and I'm sure we're grateful for the tourniquet, right? That kept them from bleeding to death. He patented a bottle stopper, which haven't had a chance to read the details yet, but I'm thinking anything that keeps my Coke Zero from going flat, I'm all for. So I'm excited about that one. He patented something called a pack saddle. It was something related to, I don't know, like, I guess like some type of pack container on the back of a saddle. Let's see, in a pill machine, he patented. And two things that were interesting he patented. One was a medical supply transport. So it was like a box on wheels for dragging around medical supplies. And the other thing was a camp stove. Well, now the camp stove and the tourniquet, I will post pictures of those because they are both in the Smithsonian, the American History Museum. But so this camp stove and this idea of the medical supply transport, I believe, because I can't find an actual patent for the big thing, the thing that I haven't told you about yet. But what I think happened was he took his patent for the camp stove and he took his patent for this machine and he mashed them up and he made basically the J. Dunton patented coffee wagon. And
sorry, I'm here. Okay.
It was a thing that, in reading about it, there is a replica one, a reproduction one that was built in 1970. And it's actually kind of an interesting background. I grew up in Virginia, in Central Virginia, where the Civil War, some people think that it's still going on. So
yeah.
I was sort of surrounded by that as a kid, and I've always kind of just been like, Civil War era, yuck, I'm not interested. But alas, the story of this coffee wagon was so fascinating. Like, apparently it was the precursor to the YMCA. I think it was called the United States Christian Commission,
really?
Or something like that. They were basically the precursor to the YMCA, and they got the coffee wagon, and they brought it. Yeah, they brought the coffee wagon. Apparently, there were two of them at one point. They were bringing them down into Virginia. And at Appomattox, if you guys know your U.S. history, the Battle of Appomattox is where Robert E. Lee surrendered, and the coffee wagon was there, and they were serving to both the Union forces and the Confederates. The Union forces were very happy because their rations included coffee, but
the Union got coffee? Yeah.
Yes, the Union soldiers were given green coffee beans, and so if they wanted coffee, they had to roast it themselves, grind it, and cook it on like a camp.
That's how I feel like when I'm waiting at Starbucks for my coffee. What are you guys?
You're shooting your fellow brethren.
Yeah. Oh,
you don't
God.
really have time to make coffee. So they were grateful that the coffee wagon came.
Yeah.
The Confederates were grateful that the coffee wagon came because the Union blockade cut off coffee to the South.
Wow.
And around this time, coffee had gotten very popular in the U.S. And they looked at it like, you know, we can fight longer, we can stay up,
Hell
we can
yeah.
march. And that coffee was fueling the ability of these soldiers to, you know, do their jobs.
I mean, I don't want to make light.
light.
I won't make light of, you know, war is hell, but like coffee, man. Like if your soldiers don't have coffee, like legit,
Yeah.
like come on, like this is a human need, honestly.
Yeah. One of the articles I read actually quoted, it was like a memoir, I think, that had been written in like 1880 something by a man who was a soldier. And he basically said, like, you know, we were beaten down from these marches, but then there was the coffee, and the coffee wagon was like the best thing ever. And I was reading the specifications of the coffee wagon to my husband, and he's like, that's a lot of coffee. It was like 90 gallons an hour.
Whoa.
Yeah, this thing could make. And it was basically built on top of artillery caisson, which is like, if you think of like an old fashioned like Revolutionary War or Civil War cannon.
Yeah.
The thing that the cannon sits on is the caisson. So it's like the base and these giant wheels.
Yeah.
And so that's what he set this camp stove situation, and the box for the medical transport became the coffee roasting and grinding.
Wow.
Like thing. And so this is Dr.
This is Dr. Dunton?
This is Dr. Dunton's father.
That's
Jacob
his
Dunton.
father. Right. That's
Yes.
amazing. They're amazing,
Yeah.
these Duntons.
Yeah. So, right, like, you know, I keep saying Dr. Dutton is like the most interesting man in the world. He really is. He has so connected to all these like characters, these interesting people, and all these things that they did.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my dad hasn't invented anything.
Yeah, no, same.
My dad hasn't patented anything. Like, I sometimes I sit there and I think, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And when was Dunton born, and when did he die? What was his lifespan again?
He was born in he was 98 when he died.
Wow.
He was born in 1868 and he died in 1966.
I'm telling you, I've thought about it before. Like people who were born in 1870s, like which is basically him, right? Mm-hmm. What a fascinating time to be born, because you would see the advent of radio, television, computer. I mean, what are the computers? Both world wars. I mean, holy crap!
Yeah. The
automobile. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think about, I mean, not to get off on too much of a
digression. No. Yeah. Please.
Grandmother,
please.
Like, our age, our grandparents.
Yes.
About the same age. My grandmother. I think both of my grandmothers and one of my grandfathers were born in 1925.
Whoa.
My other grandfather was born in 1920.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about the things, and my one grandmother just died in 2018. So you see the things that she saw in her lifetime, and it's like really amazing. It's somebody who was born in the 20s was not that far outside of the Industrial Revolution.
Exactly.
In the same way that we think like, oh, my mom was born in the 50s. That wasn't that long ago.
Right. Yeah. And vintage, let's see, vintage is 50 years. 50 if it's 50 years, an antique's 100, and it's like right at this point 80s are vintage. It's 50 years. Oh no, wait, hold on, the 1980s almost. It's the 70s.
Well, 70s. I'm officially vintage this year, so.
Oh man, I mean, but I mean, to be born in 68 like Dunton was, I mean, the Great Depression, the bomb.
Well, I mean, just
everything.
Right. I mean, all the stuff. And like by 1966, like that was just 2 years shy of the moon. Wasn't the moon landing in 68?
Yeah.
Am I right about that, you guys?
Because Kennedy was 63. I always remember that. I don't know why, but Kennedy was 63, and Nixon was the moon. The moon happened with him, right? So it would have been.
Was it Johnson?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Randall's saying no.
Okay.
I don't know. Tell us, Randall.
In any event, I know the moon landing happened in the 60s.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think Dutton died right before. So really, from born like right after the Civil War,
68,
at a point when we were like just starting like medical technology and the Industrial Revolution and all that stuff all the way up to just short of landing on the moon. That's insane.
It's incredible.
That is just insane.
Dutton's great. Dutton's great. So, let me think. So what is your next thing? Like, are you parsing all the stuff? You've got a lot of material. Are you parsing all that, like reading all of that? And yeah, it's sifting through everything, right?
Yes. Yeah. Right now I'm sifting. And then my next thing is there's some questions I want answered.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they're necessarily like, do or die for the whole spectrum. Mm-hmm. But I think like those of you that know, like, you just can't sit there with a mystery on your hands. You've got to solve it. Mm-hmm. I need to know a few things. So yeah, I have some plans to go to the Maryland vital statistics, where the birth and death certificates are held. And also I need to run up to the cemetery to take pictures of his family's plots.
Oh yeah.
I got confirmation that both wives are there, and I just want to see what I haven't been able to see a picture that shows exactly how they're arranged around him.
Yes, interesting. Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, are Jesse and Edna on either side, or were they forced to be buried beside each other? Like,
yeah, like, is there etiquette for gravestones for wives?
I don't know.
Interesting. It'd be good if there was, because then people don't have to choose. It's like, I want to be on this side. Like, well, it's customary for you to be on that side.
It makes sense that he probably would have been in the middle. I guess he died after both of them, so they both predeceased him. So who knows? And then there is a person. So the Shepherd Pratt, or the Shepherd and Enoch Pratt Hospital, which is the mental health facility that was really just getting its start right before Dutton arrived in Baltimore, and it's still like, it is like one of the biggest like mental health facilities in the Mid-Atlantic, I think. It was pretty big. Wow. St. Elizabeth's, I think, is down in DC, is also one of the big players. But they do a lot of research at Shepherd Pratt, and they have a library, and they have an art collection. Wow. And they've got some Dutton stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not the quilt related Dutton; it's the occupational therapy related Dutton. So.
Right.
I think it will fill in some blanks for me that I'm certain that the librarian there can answer. So that's kind of my next step.
Awesome. Cool. Good. Excellent. Thank you for the Dutton report. I've been missing it, and and yes, I was just trying to think of a thing that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Excellent. Yes. Okay. So there's a lot going on here in the space tonight. So I'm focusing now. Okay. So this is the magazine. So it was one of these dusty magazines that I found here in the Quilt Museum, and I wanted to share something. And I opened it up, and this is from 1987. It's called Old Fashioned Patchwork, and this was published. So this was donated by Lola Zimmerman. Thank you, Lola Zimmerman. Plug this in, and it was, it's free to a good home right down in the Quilt Museum. And hold on, let me get this plugged in. And so I'm leafing through it, and there's not a lot of there's not a lot of stuff. I mean, there's this kind of stuff, which it's newsprint. It's published on newsprint. And hang on, Steph, I gotta move you over here for a second. It's published on newsprint, and so there's only a few color pages in it, which is interesting. There's just not that much done in color because it was very expensive, and so a lot of times you have, they have to tell you what color the quilts are, because you can't see. And there's also these hand-drawn diagrams, and I mean, I don't know, like, if I was making a quilt pattern magazine, this is what it would look like. Seriously, I'd be like, it's retro, and like, no, I just don't know how to use Adobe Illustrator, and can't afford someone to do it. So, but I love this star. They just like, it's a star print. Okay. So there's a lot of this, and here's another example of pattern pages. So many. I mean, just so many of the older magazines, like, we forget. I mean, there were pattern pieces in these magazines, right? Sawtooth border, the heart pattern. I mean, I've probably said it before, but there's memories I have of my mom cutting out templates using the cereal boxes. So the cereal box cardboard was really good. I scanned a couple of these pages, but one of the things that really excited me, the only thing, I'll be honest, and it's not a thick volume, it's slender. This Old Fashioned Patchwork, Fall 1987, was this article. Decidedly denim, and I feel like they really got the denim, the feel of denim on that art. New quilts made from old jeans. So here's some images. 1987. It seems even older than that, to be honest. It seems a little more early 80s, but 1987. This picture might have been taken earlier, but so it's an article about, obviously how to make quilts with old jeans. Okay, and so and I liked this. I thought this was pretty cool. And it says, this unusual design by Larry Smith, so it's a fellow on the right, of Crystal, Michigan, uses squares and triangles. We received the picture from his proud grandmother, oh God, Alberta White. Larry has generously offered to share his pattern. That is very nice. And yeah, I mean, I think it's like, so my question is, hey babe, okay, babe has a denim quilt on your bed right now. I love that. That is excellent. Who among you has made a denim quilt? I've never done it. Have you done it, Steph? Have you made a denim quilt?
I've made some blocks, so denim blocks.
Denim blocks.
Yeah, and I mean, you could get some pretty nice designs with denim, especially if they're bigger. Like I think piecing very small is difficult because the thickness of denim, but
sure.
If you're using like old recycled jeans, oh my gosh, like all the variety that you can get.
Yeah. Do you use, what's like the needle, what's the needle situation? Like, do you have to really adjust your machine to handle stuff? That's what I think about, is like, how do you...
You're probably supposed to use a denim needle, but
but whatever.
Just use like a universal needle. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it just regular like blue jean denim is not that tough. I guess if you use like a heavyweight, like canvas type denim, it might be a different story. But.
Interesting. Okay, good to know. And babe, the one that you have on your bed, is it super heavy? I mean, Hey, Sugar. I have a panel of denim ready to be used, says Myra. Excellent. And Babe says, I loved making the denim quilt. I use pockets and seams and everything. Well, you are going to like this segment. And Nunmaker, hey all, happy Saturday. I have made 3 denim quilts. Wow. Okay, so I didn't know that we would have so many people saying that they made one. That's excellent. And Robin, hello, Robin. I've backed a quilt with denim. A full denim quilt is on my one of these days list. Excellent. Well, you're going to have some inspiration here in just a second. The Flinster, hello. I made a denim and corduroy quilt. It was a log cabin weight a ton. That's what I was going to ask, is like, are these quilts very heavy? And I mean, I don't know. It depends on the denim, right? It depends on and what you back it with, too. Robin used a denim needle. Okay. Yeah. Jen's okay. Universal needle work just fine. Case like you're good. Hey, Faux Vintage. I've used jeans and old dress shirts together. The seams were really bulky to sew. Interesting. Anybody have any tips, Steph? You might have a tip on like bulky seams. I'm putting you on the spot a lot tonight. I don't.
Yeah, actually, because I have sewn more garment type stuff. I think a lot of you probably have nice like modern machines, but
sure.
Even older machines may have that setting on the foot where it's like you kind of lock the foot from wiggling, and it helps you jump over seams easier.
Oh, interesting.
They also make a product called a jeansamajig or jeanamajig or something like that, and it's like a wedge that you put behind the foot of your sewing machine so it keeps it level. Because that's the problem with like those really heavy when you're joining multiple seams and it gets like that big bulky, the machine doesn't like to go over that hump and like it'll skip stitches and stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's but I think probably some of like really nice new machines, you just like say, hey, I'm sewing denim, and it goes, okay.
Yeah. They're like, okay, I have a sensor and I sense you. Yes, exactly. And they kind of, yeah. And I think like for me, when I've been sewing on a machine and I just get impatient and I want to go fast, and it's like you just got to slow down. If you slow down, the feed dogs are like, we got you, we're carrying you along.
You do have to slow down with bulky stuff.
Yeah.
Because the machine's gonna hate you if you try to zip through it.
Yeah. Even on like just a thick seam, like a pinwheel, like in the center, you know, it's like chonk. If you hear that, like chonk, that's very bad. So here are hump jumper. That's great. Hump jumper. But Kay says, but if you're sewing over denim seams, then you probably want to go up to a denim needle. Okay, but for straight denim, a universal needle works just fine. And the Nun Maker says, I just take those bulky seams really slow. There you go. Even hand turning the needle to make work. Love it. So I've got a few denim quilts to show you, and then this one I kind of skipped ahead because I've got some all denim quilts for you. But I was thinking about breechy quilts, you know, and breechy quilts it's a term for everyday quilts that were made with breeches, right? Denim jeans and overalls and coveralls and work clothes. And this particular quilt comes from Rod Kirikoff's book, Unconventional and Unexpected. And this is, I mean, it's one of my favorite quilts I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's so, like, I look at this quilt and I think mellow, like the colors have mellowed, or they're so resonant. It's like a stand-up bass or a timpani drum or something. I mean, it just is really, really, it's deep, man, and it's beautiful. And there's just a few patches of denim, you know, there's this dark denim here. You know, otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I don't have the book with me here, but it almost looks like wool. I'm not sure. But these faded, this is real work clothes stuff. I mean, you can see how worn it is. And it's just gorgeous. The blues here and I mean, this piece, you know, there's dye on it, right? I mean, I don't think it's like hand dyed. I think it's like this was used in some fashion. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, it's either faded or it's been dyed. Like that tan, I mean, it just looks like somebody's work pants that were...
Yeah, like somebody wiped their hands, right? Like they were dyeing something else and they wiped their hands on something, on this, and then used it. I don't know.
I love that.
Isn't that great?
That irregular, like, whatever.
Exactly, that irregular whatever, same. It's so beautiful.
Whether it's worn or that something bled on it or that it faded, it's just, it's beautiful.
It's so good. And there's like this electric purple, and I think it's white thread. Pardon me, but it looks pink against it. I don't know if it's, well, maybe that's dyed too. I don't know. It's sort of impossible to find, I mean, to be bored by this quilt, right? It's just really, really wonderful. So that would be considered a breechy quilt. Here's another one, and this is from Unconventional and Unexpected. I mean, this is one of the coolest quilts I've ever seen. Like, it's just cool. It's just so cool. So it is a bell-bottom medallion, and so this is in the Unconventional book, and this is 1991. And we know who made it. Pieced by R.B. Williams of Oakland, California. Quilted by Irene Bankhead. It's 67 by 74. And I mean, the slice in the middle, this like slash, right? What it seems to me to be, I mean, I see the slash first, but what I believe is happening here is that like that is a bell bottom, right? To the side, set to the side. I think that's what I see, Steph. I think that's correct, because there's that seam. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it until you said that. I'm like, oh, it's bell bottoms.
It's totally bell bottoms, right? And then there's another one that's reversed on the bottom, and it gives you this slash. But I mean, this little red tiny piece, is that a selvage? Is that, I don't know, but it's so genius. I mean, go ahead. You know, this is where you get into the thing, you know, which we won't get into tonight, but it's like Paul Klee or whatever in MoMA, you know, he did things like this, right? A little red dot, you know, strategically placed. And it's like this quilt, man, holds up to that so hardcore and just like trounces it. To me, it's so
and the
cool.
The pocket.
The pocket. the pocket perfectly placed, and these really great. I'm sorry, I was putting I gave a selection of Britchie quilts to this gal who was doing stuff with denim last year. Anyway, so I've got the caption up there. But like this, pinstripe kind of thing. I had a pair of like pinstripe jeans, a long time ago, and it was those were great. But just an amazing piece, bell bottom medallion, genius. Oh, Dee Dee, hold on, here we go. Dee Dee, or maybe it's this.
That's what I do. I invented Post-its.
Yeah. That's such a great sound cue. That came from you, right, Steph? I think you were like, didn't we joked about Romy and Michelle or something? I don't remember.
Oh gosh, Mary, that was probably like a year ago.
Yeah, I know.
Or more, I don't know.
It's been a minute. Okay, and then there's this one too. This one, I believe, this is not from Kirikov. I'm pretty sure this is from an Eli Leon collection. So I don't have information about it. When I'm traveling, I don't always have everything that I like to have. But I liked this a lot because a lot of times denim quilts that you see, the Britchie quilts are different because they're not all denim necessarily. I have a couple that are, of course, and there's a lot of G's Ben quilts that come from G's Ben that are all denim work clothes, and they're so beautiful. But there are a lot that just incorporate some denim, and this one is great. It's so nice. Let's see, what is it? I guess it's a 25 patch because each one of those blocks has their 5x5. There's the wash of it, right? The different denim colors, and this is interesting. I wonder. I just am looking at this now. This two-tone piece. I wonder if that's a piece of denim that it's the same piece of denim and it was like unfolded, and you have a faded side and a non-faded side. You know what I mean? Like obviously the sun doesn't get to the piece of jeans that's not, in the sun. So, or if it's two pieces stitched together, I'm not sure. It doesn't really. I can't really see a seam line, but it's hard to tell here in this scan. But just the colors of this. It's like, this just looks like Ralph Lauren wants his clothes to be. It's like if my clothing line were a quilt, or if this quilt were a clothing line, like it would be sort of that Ralph Lauren kind of vibe, cowboy, Americana, grit, kind of American spirit kind of things. Yeah, beautiful. Behind a pocket, or the hem. Yeah, babe, exactly. It could be the hem. Yeah, totally. Let's see. So funny. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think one of the cool things about denim, I had a blue collar dad, so the way that different professions cause your work clothing to wear, and my dad was a welder, so certain parts of his clothing would be covered by protective equipment, and so it wouldn't get as much wear as other parts. So I could see somebody who maybe was farming might have one type of wear, as somebody was doing mechanical stuff might have other coal miners.
Yeah. Were there little from the sparks burns. And stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's I know. He invested in jeans a lot because they would, they just disintegrate. He washed them so much.
Yeah.
He would have to buy new jeans like every few months.
Where did he? So this was in Maryland, yeah.
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Does he have any of that stuff? He probably wouldn't, right? No.
I don't think so. Not at this point, because he's retired and had some major life changes between then and now. So I don't think he has a lot from back in his working days. But yeah, I just remember that was like one of the things. Dad's work clothes were separate from everything else because they were always so nasty.
Right, exactly. Your mother was like, no. Yeah.
Yeah, but they would have like this really awesome patina.
Yeah, right.
Even back then, I was fascinated with it, but I would love to, and I know you're going to talk about, I think you have Melissa's.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
List, but it kind of like there were some of those like, her situation's totally different, but I kind of understand some of the things she talked about with his with his jeans.
Well, listen, since you're talking about it, and I pulled it up, can you tell us what you know about this? I mean, because you said you sort of identified. Can you tell? Do you mind?
Yeah, Melissa Averinos. So this was what was it? Best in Show, 2016 Modern Quilt Guild, the Quilt Con. And I mean, the very sad story is that Melissa's brother died by suicide. And if I remember correctly, he was a painter, like a house painter. And so they went and cleaned out his home and just like taken all his clothes and thrown them in the dumpster. And so she went and salvaged through the dumpster and got his jeans to make this quilt.
Beautiful.
And, I mean, it's a very sad story, but it's also, she was able to reclaim that and make this in his honor.
It's very powerful, this quilt. And by the way, one of the people who saw this in person just showed up in the chat. And I just want to say, the other Mary Kate, it is so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. And it's a great moment to come in because I think that 2016, so it won Best in Show at QuiltCon in 2016. And where was because Savannah was 2017.
2016 was Savannah.
2017 was. I don't know why I remember that, but I do.
2017 was Savannah.
I don't remember.
Where was it in 2016 then? I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but I feel like Pasadena. Okay, Pasadena. So I think we saw it together, Mary Kate. I mean, we were at that show at the same time. So it is really good to see.
Pasadena was after Savannah, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was 2018.
Savannah
because I was in grad
Savannah
school.
Yeah, Savannah was the first quilt con I went to, I think.
Pasadena. Yeah, Dee Dee says Austin. Austin is 2013.
Austin, yeah, I think Austin was before Savannah.
Interesting. Pasadena. Okay. Well, who knows?
In any event,
I guess we could all.
I also saw this quilt.
Yes.
It is amazing.
And it
and
really,
it's those
really
textures because of the work that he did. There's like little wear marks and paint splatters and stuff like that. I think that I sort of responded the same way.
Yes.
As sort of
Exactly. Yeah. And she speaks about it in that article that I shared a link with you about. Was it We All Sew? She did an interview. She wrote a piece about it. I think it's in that link list. But she writes about it really directly, and I mean, the article is really good, and she's spoken about it, and she was like completely floored, I guess, that she won Best of Show, and nobody else was surprised. It was just a really, really, a really great quilt using denim, right? I don't know. Sometimes like the quilt, like a Best in Show is right for the time. It's like a great pop song or something, not to make light of I'm not making light of anything at all, but like it's the right quilt for the right time. And it just caught everybody, and it was really great. So there's a quilt that uses denim in a very specific way. So I was looking at denim stuff, and I saw this quilt. Before we do that, I just want to show you the. I looked for books. Of course, I looked for books for you. I looked for books. Make it in denim. Make it in denim. You might need to make it in denim, people. And this we have an Abe Books affiliate link for this. It's quiltnerd.link/make it in denim, by Hazel Todd Hunter. I'm just saying. Oh wow, that's like sweatshirt material in denim. I didn't look very closely at this. She's made it in denim, is what she's done. God, wow, that's really. I mean, that's like jersey, right?
And I love the fact that there's like wings, like sewn, I guess quilted. The quilting lines are like wings.
Yes.
So it is something else.
It's really great. The hair is amazing.
Everybody needs a quilted kimono thing.
Yes, at least one.
And make it in denim.
Make it in denim. I texted this to my sisters and brother-in-law and Eric, and I was like, do you ever you just need inspiration, you just don't feel like you can make it, make it in denim. They all enjoyed it very much. So if you want that book, you can get, I think Steph said there's like 3 copies available on Abe Books, so don't wait. Sorry, Make It in Denim. Where is it? Make It in Denim. And here, and then there's also another book that I think is really cool. And Kate said that she has this book. It's not a quilt denim book per se, but it's Indigo Junction's Dimensional Denim Fabric Manipulation Techniques and Projects for Home and Fashion by Amy Barrickman. And this seemed like if you're going to do anything with denim, this seemed like a pretty wise thing to get. I mean, this is great, this kind of stuff, and to learn how to do that. And she's done it so delicately. It looks really cool. And you took a class from her stuff, is that right? Cool.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Amy Barrickman, I've actually known her for a while.
Oh.
She's really big on recycling, and so she wrote this book. She released a line of colored denim, for clothing.
Okay.
And actually, I have some. I bought some to make something with, and I never did. But she was teaching not only to, I guess, promote her own line of denim, but also that you can make all of these things with recycled and upcycled denim.
That's cool.
So, because she's really big on that, and I thought that was cool.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Cool, I love it. This looks beautiful. That does not look like denim. Nice. Okay, so then I went to search for some denim quilts to show you, and this one. Where is the first picture of it? Hang on. There's a quilt, a quilt made for on sale for at First Dibs. And First Dibs is the auction site. Let me just find. That's the back of it. Hold on. This is a detail shot. I want to make sure you can see the whole thing. This quilt is $1,000, and yeah, it's for sale at First Dibs right now, and it's tied, and there's no batting in it. Let me just make sure. I want to show you the full thing. I mean, it's okay. Denim quilt First Dibs. Yeah. Okay. Great. Denim quilt First Dibs. And I mean, I don't know. Talking about pricing quilts, we do that a fair amount. I won't do that right now. But this quilt, it's interesting. I feel like the denim quilts from Gee's Bend area it was the first denim quilt I ever saw. Was a quilt from that part of the country, made in the 1960s, maybe even the 1950s. So I feel like the denim quilt, the breechy quilt, is something that people who are even just sort of have a passing interest in quilts in kind of a pop culture way will recognize. This quilt, what it says is it is made around. It's denim quilt with jeans pockets, and it says made 1980 to 1989, somewhere around there. It is, circa 1980. Excellent condition. Comes from Maryland. Interesting. And it is 60 inches by 70 inches. And I'm wondering, one thing that I don't see on the older ones are brand names, the labels. And that's interesting as you get newer quilts. I mean, I suppose there are Levi's, rivets and things like that would sometimes have the company's names on them, but Jordache, Jordache isn't going to show up on a denim quilt from 1970, right? So that's an interesting thing about these, is that you can date them by the branding on the jeans. Let's see. And then I've got drink wine and Solon. Nice. Okay. So a nun maker says, I have a bag of pockets that I saved from the 2 memorial quilts I made. I really want to do something like that with them or use them in bags. I haven't figured it out. You know what? A nun maker, there was one thing I didn't put in the show, which was a really great bag made of jeans. I'll get it. It's in my history. It wouldn't be hard to find. Because it was really cool. I'll grab it. So there's a detail. We saw the detail. And then the back is flannel. This is the only shot that I have of the back of the quilt. Is that true? Yeah. Flannel backing on jean quilts seems right. No batting, because we get so heavy. But the flannel back, I mean, it's perfect. To me, it's perfect to have a flannel back. And I have another quilt that has a flannel back. And hey, Eva. Oh wait, no, Eva, you've been here. Okay, you were saying hi, or yeah, Quack Quack Cat was. I said hi to Quack Quack Cat earlier, but I think you were saying hi to Drink Wine and Solen. Okay, so here is the denim quilt that I wanted to show you that also has a flannel back, and it is this one. This one is interesting. I mean, and there's also these rag quilts, like these rag denim quilts, and I don't think this is one exactly. I'm not a huge fan of the rag quilt. You know what I mean, Stephanie? That they've got like how do you make that, by the way? How does that, like the rag thing? We could watch a video.
This one looks like it's just serged.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
maybe just sewn together with the seams, like the yellow, or what do you call it? The red. I think real denim is supposed to have that red selvage, you know?
Yeah,
that's
right.
Brands of real denim.
Right.
Yeah, this looks like just the seams are serged, but I know those ones that you're talking about, I feel like they're sewn like this with the seams out, and then they like are clipped maybe to make them kind of fuzzy.
Yes.
I've also seen ones where it's like they're tied like on the edges.
Yeah.
I guess depending on what the fabric is.
Yeah. Let me just think. Denim rag quilt. Okay, I just wonder if I could find something really short. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's a style. It's a choice, you know. But this is interesting because it's on eBay, and I think it's what is it? $106. It's on sale. This quilt. I love that it says it's the real thing. I mean, that's like an old school, you know, fabric, Coca-Cola fabric. I like that. I don't.
It looks like looks like they're t-shirts.
Oh, t-shirts, of course.
I would guess those are for t-shirts, yeah.
That's what I do. I invented Post-its.
Yeah, t-shirts. Thank you. I'm like, Coca-Cola printed fabric with the logo on it. Weird. Yeah, totally. T-shirts. And it's, you know, there's a charm to it, but you know, but it's on sale. It's $106 down from like $186 or something. So if you want to purchase this quilt, you can do it.
The acid wash row is exactly why that there's that price on the quilt. You know,
yes.
It is the most valuable section of the quilt.
Thank you. Exactly. Did you ever have any like color acid wash, like a pink acid wash or like aqua? I think I had like one pair.
I didn't. I had black acid wash, and I had, I think, just regular denim.
Yeah, regular denim. Yeah. What was the brand? Well, Bugle Boy. Like there were these brands of jeans. Dee Dee, I saw what you said. Let's do Joyce, denim quilts on parade. So many people have made them. We could do it. But Bugle Boy, too expensive. Guess. I never had a pair of Guess. You know what? Do they still make Guess jeans? You know, like what if I could, you know, one day like actually wear, because in this town where I grew up, it was Pepe jeans, and it was stupid Guess jeans, and they were so expensive, and I never had a pair, and we never had a pair because, like, are you kidding me? They were like $80, you know, which now is like, haha, you know, now really nice jeans are like $250. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. I got some designer jeans. I don't know, did like the TJ Maxx's and the whatevers come to Iowa? Like, we got around here, because I live, you know, I grew up right outside DC, and so we had this big mall called Potomac Mills that was like all outlet stores and stuff. Yeah. It's still there. Yeah. And that's where I was able to get like a pair of Guess jeans like for $20. And even that back then was like, you know. Yeah. Yeah. And were they the ones, if they were Guess jeans that you could have finally, you didn't care what they were, right? But if for TJ Maxx, like I love TJ Maxx, but it's like, these are the ones with the pleats. Not that season. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, who cares? Yeah, that little triangle on the butt. I mean, every popular girl in this town had those jeans, and it was like, it was really like the haves and the have-nots. I mean, it was like one of those early lessons in like in economics. I mean, it was really something how bad I wanted even a sweatshirt, you know, but it was just not gonna happen. Oh gosh, Z Cavaricci. No, those were some classy jeans. Z calves.
let's see. And well, the lame jeans were just anything that weren't that, but like Jordache, it wasn't cool. Wrangler, no,
oh
Wrangler.
Gosh, what was the oh shoot, there was another brand. I'm drawing a complete blank, but yeah, Wrangler jeans were like the worst.
Yeah.
But if you had buttonfly 501, like 501s, Levi's, those were very cool too when I was in high school.
Levi 501 buttonfly. I don't think those flew here. I think Levi wasn't, Levi is so legit. Like I would Levi, sure. Like bring me a pair of Levi's for sure. But and actually there's one thing. But it was Bugle Boy, and it was Pepe and Guess.
Oh, Lee jeans. Yes, thank you, Hope. Lee jeans. Lee and Wrangler, like you didn't want to get caught dead in. Yeah, it means your mom shopped at Sears.
Yeah. It was here. This is what happened with those kinds of jeans. Just zap. And I'm in the old JCPenney where I got my training bra, my very first bra, right downstairs. My first bra in my life. Two little like triangles of cotton. My God, it was right down there. It's so weird, but yeah. The Lee jeans and not Gloria Vanderbilt. What else? What were they? Gloria Vanderbilt had cool. She made a line of jeans that were really, really awesome, but they didn't have those here.
I actually have some very nice Gloria Vanderbilt jeans now. She makes a very, very nice stretch panel jean.
You know what? Yes, she does. And I actually got a pair at Costco. Is that right? Because I got a pair of jeans, of Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, that I loved and I wore like all summer a few years ago. And I think they were at Costco, maybe. Or maybe they were Jordache. I forget, but they were great.
Mine came from Kohl's.
Kohl's, yeah. There is a really cool brand called Redone, RE/DONE, Redone, and they like restore old jeans, and they're really cool. It's a cool brand. Anyway, so little digression, but we're talking about jeans. So this is this Coca-Cola quilt, and it also has flannel in the back. And I don't know. I'm convinced. Like if you're gonna do a denim quilt, I feel like flannel is like totally the choice. It's totally the choice to make. Okay. Okay. This is the full picture of the one on First Steps. I think I showed it. So this one, $1,000. The Coca-Cola quilt, $100. The choice is yours. Okay. So here we go. Let me just go and check this really quick. Costco carried them. Oh, okay. Good. I like Costco. Hey Padma. You had a 2-hour Zoom on quilting and then a 3-hour Zoom on quilting. And now we're in, we've had 90 minutes on quilting, but you can stay as long as you like. If you're tired of screens, then you should take a break. But we won't be here too much longer, but I want to show something. I want to harken back to something that we opened the show with, which was Liz Axford. And I found it's 2 minutes long, but I found a video of her right as I was putting the show together, and I thought, you know what, I want to show that video if there's time, and we do have time. So hey Angie, and thank you for cheering. That's great. This video was taken or was recorded at Quilt National. And so I want to take a look at it with you. Dairy Barn Art Center presents Quilt National 17, Shift 1 by Liz Axford. So let's listen to Liz Axford, who passed away in 2019, talk about this piece. And by the way, Quilt National's coming up. Listen, you know what? I want to go so bad, but I'm here, and then it's the East Coast. And then it would have to be that next weekend, and then I go to a wedding in Seattle with Eric. I can't do it. I don't think I can do it, but I kind of want to do it. All right. But Quilt National is coming up. We're going to talk about it in the coming week. Okay, let's check this out.
My name is Liz Axford. I'm from Clinton, Washington. I completed my first quilt in 1985. When I was still a practicing architect. For the first 4 or 5 years, I tried to do both, but eventually quilt making won out.
This is as loud as it gets. I've got it turned up all the way, but the sound is pretty low. Okay, so just so you know.
However, architecture was a great preparation for what I do now. Over the past 30 or so years that I've been making quilts, I've experimented with a pretty wide variety of materials and techniques, but there are certain principles that keep coming back into my work. I almost always start with a repeat module. It's what attracted me to quilt making to start with, and also to architecture. On that simple structure, I hang a fairly complex surface. This particular series begins as panels of 42-inch by 42-inch white fabric, which I fold and then layer into a box. It's a pretty simple process. I simply pour different colors of fabric on as I layer it into the box. But each color behaves a little bit differently in the dye bath. Some colors want to blend, others want to stay more discreet. The success rate for panels that actually work in a piece as simple as shift is maybe 5%.
Whoa.
And then I use the remaining fabric cut up or possibly with other processes over it in other series.
Wow.
I hope the viewer will find beauty and a sense of quiet meditation in my work.
Wait a minute. I want to go back because she said, Cake, are you there? I want to hear what she said. She said 5% of what she uses, what she dyes for a given project, works, and then I think she said she saves those pieces for other projects. I want to hear that again because we have these pieces from Liz Axford, and I want to know, like, is that what we have? I think so.
The success rate for panels that actually work in a piece as simple as shift is maybe 5%.
Wow.
And then I use the remaining fabric cut up or possibly with other processes over it in other series.
In other series.
I hope the viewer will find beauty and a sense of quiet meditation in my work.
Beauty and a sense of quiet meditation. Indeed, we do, Liz. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful things. Very grateful to have them. So, okay, everybody, we're going to close the show there because there's much to do and sleep to have. And I'm pretty much working, not around the clock, but close every day, early to late. And so Mom and I we're excited. And soon, by the way, with all this workshop stuff, there's going to be actual links to send you to sign up if you want to take their workshop. It's awesome to be working with Mom. And we've got the marketing stuff we've been working on and pictures and all kinds of cool stuff. And so it's good to be in Winterset. In this space, one of the things I like about being here is there's all this space up here. And somebody said when I was running to get that piece of fabric, it sounded like I was in a basketball court. And it's a really big space. And so I've been able to come and like do some exercising, like some jazzercise, in the morning, which feels really good. And so it's one of the perks of being here is that I feel kind of like I'm in training, for this workshop thing. So everybody take care. I'm so glad that you came tonight to hang out with the Quilt Nerds. And thank you for your continued support, Myra. I saw that you resubscribed. You've been subscribed for 19 months. I super appreciate your support as always. And everybody who's a subscriber, coming up this month, we're going to the New England Quilt Museum. We're going to the American Folk Art Museum. We're going to, I don't know. We're going all over the place. And I don't know. Convince me to go to Quilt National. I don't think I should do it, but I'm this close because I talked to Leslie Levy at the Quilt Museum, and they're going to be there, and I don't know. I feel like I want to go, but we'll see. But there's always special stuff, and if you subscribe to Quilt Nerd, you get access to those private streams, and you get to go places with us, and it's really good because the show takes a lot to make, and traveling all around with all the gear and stuff, it's if you like the content, then it's great to support it because, yeah, man, it's a good thing. Okay, take care. Stephanie Cake, you went out and then you went back. You're back, but if I don't see you, I don't see you, but maybe you're there. But I don't know. But I love you very much, and maybe I'll get to say that to you on the phone. But if I don't, and just in general, thank you so much to everybody who helps make this show possible. Robin and Susanna and Stephanie and Eric and you. That's it. Oh, I'm still small. I never got big. Again. Hello. Okay, everybody, take care and be good, and I will see you next. What is it, Saturday night? I'll see you on Tuesday. Okay, bye, everybody. Bye, babe. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.